Hi kids, we are so glad that you're able to join us once again for our online kids church service. Now today we're going to be looking at God's promises, but before we start our lesson, let's take a look at your amazing work that you've been sending in from last week's Bible craft. Now do you remember Rebecca set you the challenge to make an ark out of pasta? Well, you guys have been super creative. Just take a look at some of these masterpieces, starting with this super-sized boat made by Desi and Chino. Well done, girls. This boat is fantastic, and I love the animal masks too. You've made your ark truly come to life. Lovely pasta work, Abigail. Your work is very neat and I love all the details that you've put into your picture. Good job. Joel, with Grandad's help, you have nailed this week's craft and I love all of your animal pictures on your ark as well. Nice work, Elsie May. I love how you've used spaghetti to make your boat look like it's made of wood. I love it. Well done. Lovely picture, Anastasia, and you've got plenty of windows for all your animals. Well done. And finally, Joshua, you've really set the scene perfectly with the clever use of your toys. Fantastic ark and great picture. Kids, please thank your parents for sending in your pictures. We love to see your work. And if you've never sent in a picture before, why not give it a go? Try it out for this week's craft. It's going to be another pasta one, so be creative as you like. If you haven't got pasta, just use something else. And if you're camera shy, don't worry, you don't have to send in a picture of yourself, but we would love to see your Bible picture craft. So the email address is on screen, send it in and we'll see you or your work on screen next week. Now we have a quiz. Are you ready to play Bible verse or superhero movie? Good. Here are the rules. I'm going to read a quote and then you get to decide whether you think it's from the Bible or from a superhero movie. If you think it's from the Bible, then I want you to stand up. But if you think it's from a superhero movie, then you should stay seated. Okay, let's begin. With great power comes great responsibility. Now remember, if you think this quote is from the Bible, you need to stand up. But if you think this quote is from a movie, then keep on sitting down. Okay, time's up. Well, if you're still sitting down, then you're right. This is actually from Spider-Man. Well done, you. Okay, let's try another question. Though he slay me, yet will I hope in him. What do you think, guys? Is it from the Bible? If you think it is, stand up. But if you think it's a superhero movie, then you stay seated. Okay, your time's up. Now, if you're standing up, you are absolutely right. This is from the Bible. It's from Job chapter 13, verse 15. Well done, you guys. Okay, let's do another one. The quote says, I am about to go the way of all the earth. So be strong, act like a man. Now, is that from the Bible? If you think it is, why don't you stand to your feet? But if you think it's a superhero film, then stay seated. Okay, time's up. Well, are you sitting down? If you are, you should be standing because this is also from the Bible. It's actually David speaking in 1 Kings chapter 2, verse 2. Okay, let's see if you can figure this one out. It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me. What do you think, guys? Is it from the Bible? If you think it is, why don't you stand to your feet? But if this is from a superhero movie, make sure you stay seated. Okay, time's up. So what do you think, guys? Well, if you're sitting down, you are absolutely right. This quote is from Batman Begins. Okay, here's the next quote. He reveals deep and hidden things. He knows what lies in darkness, and light dwells with him. Okay, time's up. Is everyone standing? Well, if you are, well done. This is from the Bible, and this is taken from Daniel chapter 2, verse 22. Well done. Okay, here's our last question, so try really hard to get this right. This quote says, "The old order of things has passed away." So what do you think, guys? Is it from the Bible? If you think it is, why don't you stand to your feet? But if you think this is a superhero quote, then remain sitting down. Okay, time's up. Did everyone stay seated? Are you in your seats right now? Well, if you are, jump to your feet, because this is actually from the Bible. It's from Revelation 21, verse 4. Super job, everyone. You are awesome. Why don't you turn to someone and give them a high five? Well done, everyone. That was so much fun. Now, how many did you get right? And how many did your adult get right? Who won? Was it you? Was it them? Well, whoever. It was just good fun, wasn't it? We'll do something like that again. Now we're going to go straight into our time of worship with this E5 Junior Church classic, Love Theory.
Brothers and sisters, I want to welcome you back to life. Back to the one that can make your next chapter your best chapter. Hallelujah.
How can it be that you love the most unlovable part of me? How could you see your life was the only gift I'll ever need to be free? It's amazing with you. I win even if I lose. Everything's working for my good for always.
Come on.
He saves the day. He will come through. You all know that's not what superheroes do.
Hallelujah.
No greater love makes my heart beat. All I wanna do is make you proud of me.
That's why
I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you.
let's go.
How can it be? Every one of my secrets that you keep,
You cover me.
you cover me.
I appreciate it.
A mystery.
It's amazing how
Your patience with me, God will never leave.
you don't give up on me.
Don't ever leave.
Help me.
Help me to see like you.
Like you.
No matter what I go through,
Hey.
everything's working for my good for always.
Let me tell you what he does.
He saves the day.
And he
He
will.
will come through.
Hallelujah.
You all know that's not what superheroes do.
Not real superheroes.
No greater love
A love like this.
makes my heart beat.
And I promise you,
All I wanna do is make you proud of me.
that's why.
I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you.
Yes.
I don't wanna love nobody but you.
I searched all over.
I don't wanna love nobody but you.
You.
I don't wanna love nobody but you.
That's right.
I don't wanna love nobody but you.
Yes. And the church sang, come on. Jesus loving you.
Will be the death of me.
It sounds crazy, don't it? Hey,
That's how it's supposed to be.
let me tell you what it means.
More than less of me.
That's why.
I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you.
Father.
I don't wanna love nobody but you.
I really mean it this time.
I don't wanna love nobody but you. wanna love nobody but you.
Let me tell you what he does.
He saves the day.
Come on.
He will come through.
He won't let you down, but
He won't will. That's not what superheroes do.
see, I will never find
No greater love
a love like this.
makes my heart beat.
Forever and the day.
All I wanna do is make you proud.
Let me say it again.
He saves the day. He will come through.
It feels so good.
He won't will. That's not what superheroes do.
Yes.
No greater love
Hallelujah.
makes my heart beat.
For the rest of my life.
All I wanna do is make you proud of me.
Everybody sing.
I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you.
You're the savior.
I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you.
Before I spoke a word, you were singing over me. And you have been so, so good to me. Before I took a breath, you breathed your life in me. And you have been so, so kind to me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, and I don't deserve it. Still, you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. When I was your foe, still your love fought for me. And you have been so, so good to me. When I felt no worth, you paid it all for me. And you have been so, so kind to me. And oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. And I couldn't earn it, and I don't deserve it. Still, you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. And I couldn't earn it,
Now, some promises are a bit like chocolate. They're made to be broken. I'm sure a lot of you guys spend time reading fiction books. These books tend to be full of promises that have been broken at some point. Now let's think of Little Red Riding Hood. Doesn't she make a promise that she will not stray from the path on the way to Granny's house? But she does. What about Cinderella? Doesn't Cinderella make a promise that she'll be home by midnight? And I can guarantee anytime you watch a film, it's usually the main character. He will make or she will make a promise, but it will be broken at some point during the film. It's no wonder that we grow up not always trusting promises that have been made. Now God is different. God keeps his promises. This is an absolute. What he promises, he will deliver. And we're not talking about human promises which may or may not happen. We're talking about the promises made by a God who never, ever forgets. And he's also able. He is able to do what he says, because our God is not controlled by circumstances. To the point that if God was to say that this bit of paper is green, this paper would have to turn green. This paper would have to line up with God's word and change into a green bit of paper, because our God is faithful. He does not lie. What he says happens. Now, sometimes God takes time to fulfill a promise, but that's not because he's forgotten. It's just because it's not the right time. Now, Jesus was first promised to us in the Bible. When you're reading it, he's mentioned in Genesis chapter 3. But Jesus came thousands of years later. But God knew what he was doing. His plan was just unfolding, and he is faithful in what he says. But the question is, are we faithful to trust him? Are we faithful to know and to trust that he will do what he says he will do? Now let's watch this video and let's see one of the first promises that we read about in the Bible.
The months grew long as Noah and his family drifted in search of land.
How long are we going to be stuck on this ark? It's been months, and there's no land in sight.
Who knows how long it will be? It could be months or years before we find land.
And who knows how that land will even be when we arrive.
Time continued to pass. Then, one day, the ark came to rest on top of the mountains of Ararat. Noah rushed to look up and saw that the waters had begun to recede.
Oh, thank you, God, for lowering the waters. Let's send out a dove to search the area. If there is more land close by, then it will not come back.
Noah released the dove into the air and watched as the bird flew through the sky and vanished from sight. Hours later, Noah looked up and saw that his dove had returned. Noah, keeping his faith, sent the dove out a few days later, and this time it returned with a gift.
Thank you for the olive leaf, my little friend. This means dry land is upon us once more.
7 days later, the dove was released again, but this time it never returned, as it had found a place to nest. As the waters continued to lower, Noah and his family became anxious, as they constantly looked for more signs of land.
I see land.
It had been over a year since the Great Flood had started, and Noah and his family were the only 8 people to survive. Finally, they were able to leave the ark and step foot on dry land once more.
This feels wonderful. The warmth of the sun beaming on my face, the softness of the grass between my toes.
Oh, I have missed you so much.
All that is evil has been removed from this earth. Through us, God has given humans a new beginning, and we must not fail him. We must follow his path and teach all who follow us to love and obey.
Noah built an altar and thanked God for looking after him and his family. He asked God to guide them in their new journey. God gave Noah a sign that he had been heard.
Look, a rainbow.
I will never again destroy the earth with a flood. There will always be a day and a night, a summer and a winter, and a time to plant and harvest your crops.
It's beautiful, Father. God has truly blessed us.
When people see a rainbow, it will be a reminder of God and his promise that he will never destroy the entire earth again with a flood.
Years after the flood, Shem, Ham, Japheth, and their families moved closer to the river valley. With the growth of their families, the mountains and flatlands became dotted with the tents of shepherd villages, and the cities of the river valley grew.
We all hate it when somebody breaks a promise. Maybe your parent says, "I promise we'll go to the park tomorrow." But when tomorrow comes and it's raining, they usually say, "We can't go, it's raining outside, the weather's bad." Hello, that's a broken promise. Or what about when you go to the doctors and you hear the words, "I promise it won't hurt"? That's usually a lie. So it's not surprising that we grow up not really expecting promises to be kept. Now, you know, at some point in your life, people around you will unfortunately let you down. They don't mean to, it won't happen all the time, but it's just something that happens. Your friends, your family, teachers, leaders. But you know what? God is completely different. What he promises, he delivers. Now in Numbers chapter 23 verse 19, it says that God is not a man like we are. He has no need to lie and no need to break his promises. Now we break our promises because we haven't got the ability to keep them. And also we can't see into the future and realise that it is not possible to fulfil a promise we've made. We tend to make a promise in order to impress people. Now, God doesn't need to do any of that. God is consistent. He knows the future and he knows what he's able to do. He has no need to impress or to bribe people because his power is absolute. God is completely trustworthy because it is not possible for him to lie or to act against his nature. He is holy. Now, in order to be able to trust God, we first need to recognize that he is not human. He is God. He is holy. So when we talk about God's promises, we are talking about something completely different to human promises. Now we're going to read Genesis chapter 9, verse 11 to 15. So why don't you grab a Bible, a pen, a paper, and pause while you read the scripture together with an adult. Then come back later and answer these questions that will follow. This is an example of God making a promise. Who is the promise for? What is the promise? Why has God made the promise? Has God kept this promise? How does this affect the way we live?
Hello, welcome to this week's craft. This week you will need a piece of paper, some pasta shapes, some PVA glue, and any different colour paint you may have, and paintbrush. And I'll give you 1 minute to grab these items. Back, hopefully you have the items that we need. So first things first, we're going to use our super PVA glue, any glue you have, and you're going to make like a big arch, like a big rainbow shape with the glue. Make sure you put plenty of glue on so it sticks to pasta. Okay, so once you've done that, so got a bit like a rainbow arch shape going on with the glue. Once you've got that, you can just start sticking your pasta on the sheet. Stick it however you like. I know I can't try and do mine in rows, but make yours unique. Right, great week. Hopefully it will stop raining. So you want to keep going all the way until you filled out the whole arch and covered all the glue with pasta pieces. Hopefully your parents don't mind you using this pasta. If you don't have any pasta, then you can just colour or paint a rainbow how you like. I might just put a little bit more glue on a bit lower down. Okay, so I'll try and lift mine up. This is what mine's looking like now. Okay. So we're just going to leave it for a little bit. I've got a little container that I'm going to put my paint into. If you have anything you want to put different colours into, then you can. I'm just going to put some little bits. Ready? Any colours you have are great. Even if you don't have this and you want to do it like pasta and use back tips, it's fine. This is also the fun bit, get the paint out. Nearly done. PVA glue shouldn't take too long to dry. Okay. So we've got paint in there. At the bottom of your rainbow, if you have any white paint, or you can use cotton wool, we're just going to make some clouds at the bottom, so I'm going to use white paint to paint some clouds. My paint's quite watery. Hopefully you'll be able to do yours. Either side. If you do have cotton wool, that'll look good. Okay, just gonna get a bit of water. So you're gonna need a bit of water to brush off your paint. So, colours of the rainbow. Go any order you like. So, I'm gonna start with blue at the bottom. And you're just gonna paint your pieces of pasta. Try not to go too hard because it may still be a bit loose with the glue. I've never painted pasta before, so try something new. And you're just going to keep going. So once you've done one colour, go to the next one. Completely cover your pasta pieces. loose. Let's do it careful. Hope you're enjoying your crafts over the week. I enjoy doing them. Okay. A bit yellow now. Mine might come out slightly green because my brush. But it's a bit fun. Try and get as many different colours as you can. Nearly done. Doesn't matter if they smudge or blend in. Can't wait to see what yours is going to look like. And there we go. It is quite hard covering all the plants though. It's a bit more too much if you're struggling. Okay, so that's mine done. What I was going to do is put a little bit of the sun in the corner. Everyone loves the sun in the corner. So you can either draw or paint the sun in the corner. Okay, so I'll try and lift mine up. That is my craft done. I can't wait to see yours. I'm going to let mine dry now. But I hope you have fun making yours, and I can't wait to see you all soon. Stay safe.
Even when my heart is hurting, even when I feel alone, I know you are here. Even when I'm lost in darkness, you will always take my hand. I know you are here. I know you are here. It's your love, it's your love. It makes me strong, it makes me brave. It's your love, it's your love. When I'm lost and afraid, your love will always find a way. It's your love, it's your love. I know that it's your love, it's your love. Even when my life's in chaos, your peace will always bring